Hey guys. So, Amputation Journeys continue. This one is a live video. I wanted to do a live video. I'll put these back on when I want to see some comments. I wanted to do a live video for you from something that I experienced cross-platform. The first approach came from Facebook. Not surprising. A lot of stuff comes from Facebook, people wanting to connect, people commenting on my shared journey there. This was a friend request with no follow-up that came out of the UK. The images and whatnot on their Facebook profile looked like there might be reasons to connect. So I messaged this guy from the UK going, hi, I normally would delete these type of friend requests out of hand because you didn't message me. But I'm curious why you wanted to connect. Broke my first rule. Because I say on my Facebook, message me if you want a friend request. You've got to message me. And it started off okay. I just think my ex-girlfriend was in a wheelchair, and I'm really interested in people and their experiences and blah, blah, blah. And would you let me share my experience with you? And I said, yeah, sure. And I basically got a data dump of stuff he had ready to go about how he and his girlfriend, she was in a wheelchair and she'd had him use his chair to experience what it was like being in a wheelchair, how people interacted, how you had to modify your life, not being able to get up, get stuff, that type of thing. How you had to modify your life. I'm like, okay, well, hopefully you've learned some perspective shifts and this helps you in some way. And then the questions started of, how did it feel? Can you tell me about your experience? Well, describe your emotions. When you first woke up without. I'm like, time out, hold the phone. All of this is on my Facebook. I'm very profile public. It's all on my YouTube channel. Oh, what's your YouTube channel? So mistake number 2 on my part is I gave it to them. And when they saw the surgical portions, images, video on my YouTube channel, I could feel the resonance of how stimulated that made them. Okay, creepy as F, you know that. And almost immediately in our Facebook conversation, they were like, well, go ahead now, accept my friend request. A demand. You don't demand of anyone. And I said, I'll think about it. Well, what's there to think about? And I'm like, okay, I've just pissed him off. I said, no one demands that you be friends. Friendship is something that is earned. And he was like, oh, do whatever you damn please. Okay. I obviously pushed some hot buttons. So you as an amputee have to understand there are people living in a fetish world that live, eat, experience vicariously, and are a succubus of your emotional energy if you let them. They will want to ask you questions and, oh, how was this for you? Oh, tell me your story. Well, what did it feel like? No, nobody has a right to our story unless we're giving it. I've given enough of my story that if you want to see what came before, go back in my timeline. You'll see what came before. Maybe not here on YouTube, because this timeline shifted dramatically in September when I knew that I was going to have an amputation. See, this little thing should look like this little thing. However, due to circumstances beyond my control, my ability, it no longer does. It'll be something new and something different eventually, but that's okay. It's my amputation journey. We share our stories, whether we're in a wheelchair, walker, crutches, with our prosthetics, without our prosthetics. We share this journey because we don't have to ask, what was your experience? We already know. Mine was a planned amputation. I had weeks to help my brain cycle around and adapt. Not everyone is as lucky. Traumatic amputation is different. Oh my God, it's so different. You wake up and your life is changed irrevocably, and it's going to take a while for you to adapt. I'm lucky. I am a white shaman or medicine woman in a brown world, adaptogenic. Being adaptogenic, I think, is part of my gift, in that I've learned how to help clients adapt, to shift the thinking in the brain, to shift the functionality. If you reach for something with the left hand, reach for something with the right hand instead, or let it go with this hand. Shift where the phone is. Shift which side the headphone is on. Adapting to heal. So be understanding that in this strange world that we live in, you never know what is going to float someone else's boat. Not for good, not for bad. It just is. And there are tons of them. But you make the choice if you want to be part of their fetish experience. You're free to say no and block them. You're free to say yes. Here's my Venmo if we're going to have a conversation. You choose your comfort. Never, ever, ever say where you're at. I'm out there already. Everybody can figure out where I'm at. However, not everyone is me. My mother used to say, I pity anybody that goes up against you, in more than one way. But back to our subject line here. Understanding when someone has approached you from a fetish standpoint and wants to pick your emotional brain, feel free to say no. Just because on their timeline on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere else shows them in a wheelchair, or lots of their friends are handicapped or disabled or amputees, use best judgment in accepting that person at face value. I went back and looked at the history, and there was none. And I went, okay, this is a twisted succubus. i.e. an emotional vampire type situation, and I wasn't willing to go there. You don't have to ever go there with anyone, friends, associates, strangers online. You don't have to respond how they want. And by not responding how they want, watch their reaction. That will tell you a lot. So, here we are, children, on the next update. I love you all to pieces. May your amputation journey be smooth. Expect the bumps, expect setbacks, but understand that we're all here to share this together. So, I love you, and I will see you next time. Any questions, feel free to reach out. You know where to find me. Omsho Shamiana.